Now that you've had time to think about and process the needs of your temperament, let's go back to what Terrence said last time. He compared our appetite for these innate needs to our appetite for food. And there are two really important parallels here. Just like with food, these needs are required. It's impossible to be physically healthy without regularly getting food, and it's impossible to be mentally healthy without regularly getting your innate needs met. These needs are also repeated. Our appetite for food is never fully or finally satisfied, and our appetite for these things is never fully or finally satisfied either. So as with any appetite, we're always somewhere on the spectrum between full and empty. And today we want to talk about what happens when we're on empty. When cholerics don't get credit for their work. When sanguines don't feel like they have your full attention. When phlegmatics are overlooked. And when melancholics can't find peace and quiet. It takes us back to the beginning of Ephesians 4:29. Let no unwholesome talk come out of your mouths. Well, we each have unwholesome talk that's unique to our temperament. And Kathleen's going to highlight what that is for each of us.
So last session we talked about your 4 innate needs. Mm-hmm. So now you have some time to think about it. You've had some time to think of the stories we talked about.
Yes.
What's your thoughts?
It's true.
It's true.
They're all so true.
They are.
And I really love the fact that we could put names to it now.
Okay.
I think that's it's really empowering for me. It's like,
Yeah.
I know who I am. I know what my needs are. It's empowering.
Okay. No, I love that.
You
I
guys
love
don't feel that way? No?
Yeah,
Just me?
I would say that I have a larger sense of okayness
Okayness.
Way
with
better.
those needs
Well
Yeah.
said.
than I probably would have thought I ever would.
Okay.
That's good.
Yeah, it is easier once they're defined, and you're not just thinking, all right, I have all these needs, and it's unorganized. It's much more organized when you like put it into these boxes that you're kind of giving us.
Perfect.
You kind of like that, don't you?
I
Yeah,
do.
she
Organized,
likes
that's
what's
what I'm
coming in the
saying.
boxes.
I'm into it.
Yeah, and when you draw out a story for each of the needs, it really makes it real. Like, okay, this is true about me.
That's
Well,
right.
I'm
You
glad
had
you
me
guys
crying with
like
that
story.
last story.
Yeah, that's
Thank you,
exactly
Jeremy.
right. So what we want to remind ourselves this time too is we want to start putting all these pieces together. So what I would love to do is give you a scenario, and then I would love to see how you might respond to that scenario. So I'm going to start with you, Leslie.
Okay.
I know your kids are older. So let's think back at a time when they were a little bit younger.
Okay.
And you're trying to get them out into the car. They're not moving.
Right.
What's your response then?
Typically to get firmer and louder and louder until we get to the point where usually somebody's probably crying.
Crying.
Yeah.
So a choleric, when loyalty or sense of control is not being filled, and we choose impatience or bossiness or intolerant, then we will go to the manipulates by, which is anger and tone, because those needs are not being filled,
Okay.
right? How did that work for you?
Not real well.
Yeah.
No, but I did it a lot.
Okay.
And tried to get good at it.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
Yeah.
I worked it. Didn't
But
get
it
me
didn't
very
work.
far. No.
right. So Tony, I want to give you a scenario.
Okay.
Okay, you and your husband have a great date planned. You're going to meet some friends at the new It restaurant, right? And Sam comes home, tired, looks right at you. Babe, I don't want to go. We're staying home tonight. How do you respond?
I would I'd probably like try to like manipulate him into like really thinking about it in like a fun way.
Okay.
Like, babe, listen. Not only are we gonna hang out with friends, but this restaurant, the food. Listen. If you had to go out tomorrow, you would want to go out eating this meal
Wow.
for sure.
Yeah.
I'd build a case and
Yeah.
I would make it sound really exciting.
I almost want to go with you now.
That's what I'm saying. You
I'm
guys ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready to go. Right.
No, but yeah, I would really try to. I would resort to like this charming type. You know.
And that is it. The sanguine manipulates by charm and flattery. So you did it textbook. You are textbook, right?
Well, there we go.
Right? So what we're going to learn is eventually in the sessions to come how to speak to build him up according to his needs.
Yes,
That
because it
may-
doesn't work all the time.
Exactly. It doesn't necessarily work when you're using your weaknesses.
That's true.
Right? Andrew, tough day. not even just a tough day. How about a tough week at work? Okay. You had mentioned to your roommate it was a tough week. Now it's Friday, it's traffic, you're getting home, you pull into the driveway, you unlock the door and you open it up, and there's a party going on. How do you respond?
Nice. I'd probably just go to my room.
Yeah?
I'd probably do the minimum amount of saying hi to the people I felt like I should say hi to, and then find an excuse to go to my room or go to someone's house where there wasn't a party going on.
Okay. So you would
Yeah,
escape.
escape, yeah.
But this is what I love about the Melancholies. You would have still been polite.
Yeah.
You know,
I would've
talk
done
to
my
the
best.
people who you felt you were required
Depends
to
on
talk
how
to.
bad of a week it was, probably, but yeah, I think so.
Exactly. And that goes into the part where we talked about your thought being, did I not tell my roommate? Did he not know I was having a tough week, right?
Yeah.
So when you're not getting support or sensitivity, moodiness and lack of words, and that's
Yeah.
exactly what you did.
Oh, you would do the bare
Yeah.
minimum, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Get out of there.
exactly. Isn't that fascinating?
Yeah, definitely.
That each temperament goes on the same path almost all the time, right? My friend Jeremy. I loved the fact that earlier you talked about a to-do list. Okay, so now your wife's asking you for updates. She's almost to the point, let's even say, of nagging you. Okay, what's your response?
So I'd be probably demotivated, and I might go slower.
Oh, like on purpose?
Did you actually have that thought? Like, go
I mean,
slower.
like, here's a challenge. I might think that. Yeah. Because I'm not feeling respected in this moment.
yeah,
I'm feeling like she's trying to be my mom instead of my wife.
there you go. See, these things are connected. That how you pick weaknesses and strengths really are being connected to how you manipulate with anger or tone, or moods and lack of words, or procrastination and stubbornness, or charm and flattery. So now we've talked about innate needs. I would love to hear a scenario back from you about when is a time where you felt you used one of your manipulative words or actions to fill an innate need. Andrew?
Oh, sure. Just thinking about using lack of words. I remember a few weeks ago, it was the end of the day at work. I think I had worked until maybe 6 o'clock. And I was walking out and I told my coworker, I was like, I'm running late. I got to get out of here. And he said, well, hold on just 1 second. I need to tell you something. And I said, remember that time I just told you that I'm running late? I didn't really say that, but
Okay, but you thought it.
I thought it.
Okay,
But he got
that's
up
a
and
blue.
wanted to have this whole conversation. And as he kept going on, I just got quieter and quieter just to kind of let him know, I kind of let him talk himself out until he realized that I wasn't about to participate
Yeah.
really in this conversation. And he kind of let me go. But now that I think about it, kind of through the lens of what you're talking about, I really was manipulating him into letting me go.
And you're aware of that now. What need do you think that you were trying to fill?
My need for not being late.
Sensitivity.
Sensitivity,
right?
yeah. I guess it was because I
Yeah.
was worried about being late to this next thing and affecting those people.
Right.
And so, yeah.
But the connection to sensitivity, clear to you?
I think so, yeah.
Good. Leslie, tell me a scenario.
I'd say that I'm most typically going to end up in an angry place at this stage in my life as a result of laundry.
Laundry.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
laundry.
There you
Laundry. So we have a large family,
Okay. I think you said 5 kids.
5 kids. Not all of them live with us anymore,
Okay.
but too many of them do.
Okay. Okay.
And my 85-year-old dad. So, there's a lot of people who need the washer and the dryer.
Yeah.
And for all the years that I've been doing laundry for other people, I always fold the clothes that are in the dryer and neatly stack them so that other people can take them away and put them away.
Okay.
They don't live up to that when they're using the machines. So I have lots of young adult and adult people who will leave clothes in the washer and clothes in the dryer. And worst of all, probably the worst of all, is to take a load that I might have not gotten folded yet, that's my load, and remove it from the dryer and put it on the floor.
Oh, it's over.
So yes, over. I'm looking for somebody's head to take off.
yeah.
So,
There you go.
In any case, that'll
Yeah.
get me going. That'll
And
get me going good.
And that will get you going with anger and tone, probably.
Oh, all of
right?
it, yeah.
All of it.
Yeah,
and
all of it.
what if you could just connect it to one, and maybe it's multiple? Mm-hmm. Which innate needs do you think that's?
Appreciation, I think,
Okay.
above all else. I mean, they are living in a very comfortable circumstance, and it's a very small task. And I've demonstrated by my own actions
very good
very
influencer.
beautifully what it looks like to show respect
Yeah,
for someone
yeah.
else's property
Yeah.
by folding it. And that's
And
not a
here's
big
the thing.
ask.
That's a great
So, mm-hmm.
story, because what we also want to think about is just one scenario
Mm-hmm.
may not just fill one innate need. Really, your scenario could fill loyalty,
Absolutely.
appreciation, sense of control.
Yep.
Right? So
No, it
is-
does hit all of those.
It
What's
hits
the
all of
fourth
them.
one again? It probably hits the
Credit
fourth
for
one
work.
too. Oh, there
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
You do it.
Yeah.
That's probably why I'm so mad.
That laundry is taking you out.
Not any of my needs are being met.
Right. But when we fill them in the weaknesses, or when we go to the manipulates by, that's your red flag.
Yeah.
That we have to make a change. Right? And that's what we're going to work on. Procrastination, stubbornness.
Yeah, which
And I
story?
know you have
Which
it.
one? You're bold about yours. No, I do this.
So procrastination, our back deck has been needing a stain or painting since last summer.
Okay.
Okay, wow,
And
that's a
it's
year.
still happening. It's getting worse. It's not getting better. So it's not something. I'm sure there are greens that are handy. I am not. Plus, I don't own like all the equipment, so
Right.
there's some purposeful procrastination in that. Wouldn't it be better to hire a company that does this all the time, that has all the equipment to
And it
do
would be
this?
easier.
And yet we have all these friends that are doing it themselves. So that's my wife's point.
Oh.
So I did end up getting a quote because somebody cleaned out our gutters. I got a quote on it, just in case. Let's
Yeah.
see
Yeah,
what
yeah.
they say.
Yeah.
And now, because of the price, my wife sees like, oh, like we should just have it done.
Oh.
So that isn't
You
so
did.
bad.
And
You won.
it
You won.
Wow. Yeah. So, Tony.
It's my turn.
Yes, it's your turn. So tell me a time where you think you manipulated with charm or flattery.
Okay. I'm just so embarrassed. There was this guy once that I really wanted
Okay.
to like me. I wanted him to be my boyfriend. And so I kind of started learning about all the things that he liked and stuff. And at the time, my favorite color was actually yellow, which is
Okay.
very interesting.
Yes, it is.
Now it's electric peach. Anywho.
Electric peach.
Yes.
Okay.
But his favorite color was royal blue, and he was into all these like conspiracy theories and stuff like that. So I totally changed my favorite color to royal blue. I mean, I got like the nails popping, I got like all kinds of different things. And I started studying conspiracy theories and reading books. And I'm serious. I was like watching documentaries and
Yeah.
talking about it with my friends. They were like, I don't know if I didn't even know you were into this. I'm like, I am into this, okay?
But
so that's
really-
a word.
Too long.
That really, and
Yeah.
what's interesting is that he actually did start noticing me, and yeah, that is I charmed
But-
my way into that.
You charmed your way into something that was really not authentically you, which is really everything that I want you to be, is authentically you, right? So that is, I love that. What need do you think that was trying to fill?
What's interesting is that I thought in the moment that I was trying to feel acceptance,
Okay.
and approval. But what's interesting is now that I've gotten older and I've matured and now we're studying all this, it actually really wasn't acceptance because it wasn't authentically who I was, but I
Right.
was reaching for that, like, so yeah.
So it was
Attention.
accepted.
It was attention.
Right.
It was like all of them.
There
oh
you
my gosh, I
go.
went the lengths too.
Yeah,
y'all.
you did.
I went lengths.
Yeah, well, next session maybe bring a picture or two to
I don't
show us
think
those
I want
electric blue
to
nails,
do that
right?
because I had them on. They
Yeah.
were royal blue.
There you go.
Facing up to this isn't pleasant. These manipulating words may be related to some of your biggest regrets in life. I know for me, as a sanguine, I've leveraged charm when I'm hurt. And charm plays out much of the time as humor. It's the go-to for me when I'm on empty or when I'm hurt or when I'm challenged. I can be witty and quick and funny, but in the end, it's gotten me in a lot of trouble. and has led me to have many conversations where I'm having to apologize to people for things that I've said in jest. On the surface, it may have looked like humor, but the reality was I was just trying to charm my way back into the attention and the affirmation that I needed. Now, when I catch myself moving towards humor at someone's expense, I'm aware that I may be on empty. Knowing how you manipulate can be life-changing. Conflict will never be the same if you use your manipulating words as a clue. This is our only hope for stopping unwholesome talk. We can't will ourselves not to procrastinate or not to use charm or not to be angry. You've probably tried that before. But we can use these manipulations as a clue that shows us the real problem, the need that isn't being filled in us. That's what we want you to do this week. You just watched Kathleen do this. Your homework will help you walk through a time you responded with manipulating words and help you figure out what need wasn't being filled. Like Kathleen said, this is challenging, but incredibly important work, and it will be tremendously helpful for you moving forward.